What do you do with your power?
So Eric Plunk takes over for the Milwaukee Brewers. They got him from Cleveland for Doug Jones. And Plunk was having a pretty good year over in the American League. Went 3-1. And makes his first appearance ever against the Cubs.
He's 0-2 for the Brewers with a 4.03 ERA, on for the 20th time. You looked at his numbers combined, and so the Cubs now trail by just a run, and it's very close to a brand new ball game as Terry Adams will come into this one, and Lance Johnson trying to drive home the tying run from third.
Johnson 1 for 2, a run scored and a suicide squeeze, and he looks at a strike from Plunk. Lance, a .308 hitter lifetime. 4 for 13 against Plunk, including a triple. The 0-1 delivery. Fisted foul, back 0-2.
Plunk always had a very good fastball. At times he's had some control problems, but he's had a pretty good run at it. 25 strikeouts in 22 1/3 innings as a Brewer.
The 0-2. Breaking ball, he just did stay alive. Oh, and 2. Breaking ball, fly ball, hit to center field. It's going to be caught by Marquise Grissom. But how about the Cubs? They score 4 in the 5th. Sammy Sosa's 59th home run started the rally. After 5, we got a 1-run ball game.
This is a get dual action Desinex. Soothes while it cures.
This copyright telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago National League Ball Club, which has right of approval of the announcers and is intended solely for the private and non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Chicago National League Ball Club is strictly prohibited.
It's 10-9 as we head to the 6th with Steve Stone, Chip Carey from the friendly confines. These are the days that pitchers cower in fear when they see the flags and the wind blowing out.
It's also the kind of day when you love to hit last. And that's
right.
what the Cubs will do here today as they fought back in this one. Still 1 run down, but a long way to go in the Cub offense, trying to pick up that pitching staff that has been somewhat decimated so far, and now it's up to Terry Adams.
You get the feeling, as you mentioned, because the Cubs hit last, if somebody can get these guys 1, 2, 3, or have a couple of easy innings, you'd like the Cubs' chances very much.
Well, Terry Adams is facing the bottom part of the order, so hopefully he can get through this inning and then turn it over to the offense once again. And if you missed it, Sammy Sosa hit 59 today.
So Marquise Grissom, the man greeting Adams, and Terry falls behind him 2-1.
First Wingert, then Myers, then Heredia, then Stevens, and now Adams, as Jim Riggleman has gone to the bullpen early and often here today.
Grissom pops it foul back and out of play. He's 1 out of 2 with an RBI single, a walk, a run scored, and he's also grounded out to the shortstop.
There you look at the numbers. It's 7-7, ERA 3.91, on for the 62nd time.
Two balls, 2 strikes from Adams. Bouncing ball, base hit. So Grissom 2 out of 3. That's the 13th Milwaukee hit in the game. And Grissom a threat to steal. He's got 11 swipes on the year.
Well, I don't know when your first flight is, but make a call and settle back and relax, because you're not leaving anytime soon.
I'm not going anywhere for a while. Well, I was supposed to have a ride to the airport around 5:30 for a 7:50 flight. Might have a little trouble making that one. Here's Valentin. He's 1 for 1 lifetime against Adams. It would be nice to see him into a double play right here. A 1-run game. Adams missing high, ball 1.
Well, Valentin has struck out quite a bit this year. 97 times to be exact. However, He's only grounded into 2 double plays, 1 from each side. And that's in 387 at bats, so he can get down the line.
That's right through there. Larry and Janet Limmel from Orlando, Florida at the ball game today. Wanted to say hi. They've seen a slugfest. 10-9 after 5 in favor of Milwaukee. I'll throw to first, the runner back.
This is not a day when you want to do a whole lot of running, for the simple reason that with the wind blowing out, you don't want to risk having a base runner take it off base and maybe miss a 2 or 3 run homer.
Caught at second. What a play. Manny Alexander with a great diving catch for out number 1.
Well, as long as the line drives keep going at people, the Cubs are going to be in good shape. This is a great effort by Manny. Good piece of base running by Grissom. It's pretty easy to get doubled off, but the rule of thumb is make the line drives go through. And Alexander thinking about a double play, but did not have a play at first.
So 1 on, 1 out for Jeff Jenkins. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI double back in the 6-run Milwaukee third. Swing 0-1. What a game today. Our senior producer director of Cubs baseball is Arnie Harris. Today's game produced by Pete Toma. Our associate producer Mark Brady. Kim Fields, our coordinating producer, and the executive producer of WGN Sports is Bob Vorwald. Our thanks as always to the lovely and talented Kathy Kerr, our AD in the booth. At Wrigley Field, that ball got away from Grayson. He'll have no play as Grissom takes second base.
It looked like Terry Adams almost tripped over himself trying to make that throw, and Grissom wasn't off the bag very far. Terry just threw it away. Came close to balking, but it goes as an error.
So Jenkins now with a base hit could give Milwaukee another run with which to work. They lead it 10-9 in the 6th. In the bottom half, the Cubs will have Hernandez, Grayson, Sosa again. No balls, 1 strike. Downstairs to even the count. Can somebody, anybody, give the Cubs a clean inning here? The Brewers have not yet been retired 1, 2, 3 in the game. Neither, however, have been the Cubs. 1-1. 1-2. This would be a huge swing game for the Cubs. The Mets play later in Montreal. The Cubs trying to beat Milwaukee and even the season series at 4 apiece. Terry sets now the 1-2. Look out, folks. And Jenkins stays alive. The Cubs have Terry Mulholland, Matt Karchner, and Rod Beck left in the bullpen. So they need Adams to give the Cubs some innings here. The 1-2. 2-2 as the lights come on to try to cut down the shadows and the glare at the ballpark. The 2-2. Through the wicket. Service couldn't pick it up in time. And Grissom hesitated, then moves over to third.
Well, obviously, Marquise Grissom couldn't see that ball, and I think That's what he's explaining at third base. Service had that ball just get by him, and we'll wait on the ruling. Looks like a wild pitch. It hit well in front of home plate, and it is indeed a wild pitch. So for Adams, that's just the first wild pitch of the year. And it moves Grissom now 90 feet away, and the infield coming in at all four positions.
And boy, the right side of the infield, really a tough task. If the ball's hit to them, they may not even be able to see it. 3-2 to Jenkins. Got him swinging. Boy, that's a big out in this ball game. 2 down. Grissom singled, took second on a throwing error by Adams. Advanced to third on the wild pitch. Valentine lines out. Jenkins strikes out. And now Plunk hits for himself.
Good slider, and watch the reaction of Jenkins, who's not real happy with that particular at bat.
So here's Eric Plunk, a longtime American League performer. You wouldn't expect him to have much of a swing, but he's not going to offer a ball that high.
Service did a good job of making sure that one didn't go to the bricks. That would have scored a run.
1 ball, no strikes. Late swing, 1-1. And the pitcher saying this game's for the birds, man. 19 runs already between these two teams. 1-1. Upstairs.
I'm surprised that Plunk even swung the bat on the second pitch. Terry Adams very much fighting with his control. You wouldn't think that Plunk's swing would be grooved with only one at bat this year. And if you do walk him, then you have to deal with Vigna. So I would assume you'd have a take sign here, but you never know.
Three and 2. Vigna has never faced Adams. Let's hope it doesn't come to it in this inning. The pitch. He lost the pitcher, who was 0 for 1 lifetime with a strikeout.
Well, that shows you that Terry's just fighting with his control. He has been all year long. And let's hope that that particular at-bat does not come back to haunt the Cubs.
5th walk Milwaukee's hitters have received in the game. Now they're at first and third with 2 outs, and Vigna, the batter, he is 1 out of 3. He scored twice. He doubled once. He's been hit by a pitch once.
I think they want Mark Grace in back of Plunk at first base. And finally he looks over. He's looking into the bright sunshine. You don't figure Plunk's going to be running, and you want to get a better angle in case Vigna does pull the ball.
And a little more time too. Vigna swung at a bad ball. Adams gets ahead, 0-1. Both the pitcher and the hitter now in the shadows, but the right side of the infield for the Cubs really having a tough time. I mean, look at Mark Grace already shielding his eyes as he looks homeward.
Vigna, a tough man to fan. 43 strikeouts and 574 at bats. So odds are he will make some contact.
No balls, 1 strike. That's right through there. 0-2.
It's one of the better pitches Terry's thrown today. A quick, sharp breaking slider. Two outs and runners in scoring position. Vigna's been awfully tough. Now maybe you can get him out of the strike zone, but if it's down, Service has got to somehow block it.
For Grissom scampering away at third. That ball hit high in the air to right. Sammy on the run, still going, can't get it over his head, off the wall. 1 run is in. Plunk round second. He'll stop at third. Vigna doubles, and had they sent Plunk, he would have been able to score. For the Cubs, missed the cutoff man. It's a double for Vigna, and once again the Cubs give a run back.
Well, thank goodness it was Plunk at first base. It was not an adept base runner, because he was lumbering around the bases, and he didn't score. So Terry Adams gives up a rocket right here to Vigna. 3 straight sliders, and the third one in the same spot as the previous 2. wind up going over the head of Sosa, and Sammy having some trouble. You see Plunk just kind of loping around third base, sensing no urgency to try to score on that one.
Well, it's been one of those days for Jim Riggleman. Nobody has gotten anybody out with any kind of consistency today. Wengert went 2 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 5 runs. Myers an inning, 4 hits, 4 runs. Felix Heredia, the only Cub pitcher not to give up a run, but he did give up 2 hits. Dave Stevens an inning, 2 hits and a run. Now Adams 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 1 error, wild pitch as well.
And Terry Mulholland loosening up in the bullpen. So this becomes a huge out. You got a tough hitter in Loretta. Nielsen up right behind him. And 2 runners in scoring position.
Loretta 2 out of 4, and he waves and misses. 0-1. Everything Terry throws is hard. Love to see him develop a straight change sometime. That ball rocketed down the right field line and into the seats. 0-2. Milwaukee has a 2-run lead again. 11-9. Again the 0-2. That's off the catcher's glove. Plunk's going to try to score, and he will score.
That'll be another wild pitch, and Terry Adams has gotten to the point where he doesn't have confidence that he can throw his fastball anywhere close to the strike zone. The only pitches he's thrown for strikes have been sliders, and that one just getting away from Service. We'll take another look at it. Service wants it low and away, and this one way up and in. Terry missed his spot by about 4 feet. It goes as a wild pitch, and another run scoring, but there's still a long way to go in this. But the Cubs, who got close, seeing it slip away again.
12-9 the score. Runner to third with 2 outs. 1 and 2 to Loretta, and he protects the play. These are like 2 middleweights. They just keep throwing right hook after right hook at each other, and whoever gets the last swing in might be the one that ends up winning the game.
Well, this shows you how important the last 2 starts of Mark Clark and Kevin Tapani were to the ball club.
Huge.
Because you do not expose the relief corps, and as you see today, when the starter had a tough time, the relievers are getting pelted.
A swing and a miss. That ball gets away. Another run's going to score.
And I think it's another wild pitch. Another wild pitch for Terry Adams. So here's a guy who had gone all year long without a wild pitch. He's made 3 of them in this inning. And here comes Jim Riggleman. That'll be it for Terry Adams, as Terry Mulholland will come in the game.
Milwaukee has scored 3 times on 2 hits, 3 wild pitches. Mulholland comes on and becomes the 6th Cub pitcher.
Want to color your gray beard or mustache?
Pays to. Accepted where you see the Novus sign.
Terry Mulholland, the 6th Cub pitcher. Milwaukee has scored again. 13-9.
Well, it hasn't been artistic. It hasn't been particularly effective, but it has been entertaining. And hopefully Terry Mulholland can put an end to all of this and get out of the inning.
And Dave Nielsen takes a strike. What has to worry you, again, only 14 games left after today's play. The Cubs bullpen still has not put it together with any consistency over the past couple of months, and I'm talking about that group collectively. Individually, Terry Mulholland, Rod Beck have been spectacular all year long. But now you're in a situation where today Don Wengert started, went 2 innings and a third. He might be able to come back tomorrow and give the Cubs an inning if necessary. But you've got Mike Morgan going tomorrow. And Mike hasn't shown in his starts with the Cubs the ability yet to give you more than 4, 5, or 6 innings. And that's something this team's desperately going to need. There's another wild pitch. It bounces into the seats. That's the 4th wild pitch of the inning.
It's been a while since I've seen 4 in 1 inning, and that's just the 2nd of the year for Terry Mulholland. We'll watch it again as Jim Riggleman probably can't understand what's going on here. This one bouncing away from Scott Service, off the glove and the forearm and into the seats.
4 wild pitches here in the Milwaukee 6th. Nilsson 2 out of 3. A roller toward third. Gaetti has it. Plays patty cake in the inning. Finally comes to an end. 3 runs score for Milwaukee on a couple of hits. 4 wild pitches, an error as well, and the Brewers now have a 4-run lead.
This portion of Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is brought to you by your local Chicagoland and Northern Indiana GMC dealers.
Call me impulsive.
Turn Odo into a ladies' man on the next Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Saturday at 2 on WGN.
"22 runs, 25 hits, 2 errors between these two teams, and we're only in the bottom of the 6th inning. A long way to go in this one. It'll be Hernandez, Grace, Sosa, and Glenn Allen Hill, perhaps against Eric Plunk. Here's your chance to own Cubs game-worn jerseys, players, bats, and Wrigley Field memorabilia. Stop by the Cubs Fan Appreciation Tent Sale, slated for Friday, September 18th through Sunday, September 20th here at Wrigley Field. Enjoy significant savings on a variety of Cubs merchandise. Fans can visit the sale beginning 2.5 hours before game time. Tent sale located next to the Wrigley Field entrance at the corner of Addison and Sheffield. And the public is welcome for that, so we look forward to seeing you September 18th, Friday, here at the Friendly Confines.
Jose Hernandez almost got plunked by that high, tight fastball. And visibility is not good now.
Line drive caught by the shortstop. 1 away.
Well, a lot of hitters have hit everything right on the nose today, and it seems like the only guys retired are when someone hits a rocket right at someone else.
Well, Mark Grace looks to get in on the hit parade. Among Cubs starters today, only he and Manny Alexander have gone without a safety. Every Milwaukee starter already has a hit today. Check swing into the seats. It's 0-1. A ways to go today. If Grace can get on, Sammy might be able to pop one and bring the Cubs to within a couple. 13-9 Milwaukee. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Bill Pulsipher started when 4 2/3 innings, gave up 9 runs on 11 hits with a couple of walks and a strikeout. The game belongs to Eric Plunk, who has a 4-run lead, but a lot of outs yet to go.
That's pulled foul, 1-2. When it's all said and done, too, you hope that the Cubs have enough pitching. You never know if that's going to be the case or not. The Cubs got Heredia and Karchner. Will they have enough starting pitching down the stretch over the final 14 games? That's pulled through the right side, a hit for Grace. Plunk against Sosa. He's looking for number 60. You think about what the Cubs have lost in starting pitching. Kerry Wood was supposed to go today. He's shut down for at least a week, maybe longer. We also lost Jeremy. Jeremy Gonzalez, that is. No balls and a strike.
Semi's had a pretty good day.
59 home runs. 142 batted in. Breaking ball had a huge cut. 0-2.
His home run came on a hanging breaking ball last inning, and he got one that kind of floated out over the plate. Took a prodigious cut and came up empty.
Mark McGwire has 62. Sammy with 59. He hit it out to right. No balls, 2 strikes. Wasted outside. Good fastball, but Sammy far too patient a hitter this year to offer at that ball.
All eyes on Sammy Sosa in his pursuit of Mark McGwire.
Here comes the 1-2. Got him swinging with a breaking ball. Good spot, down and in, and Sammy missed it.
Plunk throws a curveball, and this is a dandy. It's a quick, short breaking curve, and Sammy swings over the top. But Glenn Allen Hill has had a pretty good day also.
But he hasn't had a whole lot of fun facing Plunk. Just 1 for 6 lifetime. He looks away at ball 1. Hill, though, 1 single, 1 double, and 1 run scored today.
His wife is about ready to give birth to a child, and he's hoping that it's when we're in San Diego because he lives just up the road in Santa Cruz.
1-0. A ball and a strike. (13-9) in favor of Milwaukee. Breaking ball misses. 2-1. Let's pause quickly for station identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN, Chicago.
Steve Stone, Chip Carey, a Wrigley Field slugfest. 13-9. Milwaukee has the lead. The 2-1 instead to first. And Mark Grace, that whirling dervish on the base paths, is held in check.
Plunk, I guess, very concerned about the man with 4 stolen bases in 11 attempts. I'm not sure if Loretta's seeing the ball very well, so I encourage him to keep throwing to first.
2-1. Upstairs, 3-1. That's the John Cougar Mellencamp Memorial House. Down the left field line, that is within Glen Allen Hill's range. Hitter's pitch on the 3-1. And he fouled it away.
Well, if you keep it alive, you've got Gary Gaetti, who hit a towering home run last time up. One of the longest home runs we've seen here in a while.
Three balls, 2 strikes. Grace will be off and running. There he goes. The pitch. Chopped foul. And into the camera well. The Cubs winners of 11 of their last 15 games, trying to outslug Milwaukee today. The Cubs have hit 3 home runs, 1 by Sammy, 1 by Gaetti, and 1 by rookie Jason Maxwell. 3-2. Again, flied out of play down the right side. Bill Pulsipher started for the Brewers. He went just 4 innings and 2/3. 11 hits, 9 runs. He can't win it. Plunk could for Milwaukee. 3-2. Swung on, hit high in the air into left center field. He got under it. Marquise Grissom trots over. He's under it. He's got it. And the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. On to the 7th we go. The Brewers 13, Cubs 9.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is brought to you by Pepsi. Generation Next.
Ever wonder where on WGN News at 9.
Sammy Sosa is 2 out of 4, and Chicago cabbie wanted to see if he could hit another home run, then decided, I struck out, I better go back to work. So he'll pop back into the cab, and Take some folks out to the airport, we presume, as Jeff Cirillo leads things off in the 7th against Terry Mulholland and a quick strike.
Cubs could use a scoreless inning and then turn it over to the offense. And the coach, Ron Santo, getting loosened up and ready to go to conduct Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Well, unfortunately, he's going to have to say, let's get some runs today. 13-9, Brewers have the lead.
And looking ahead, Gaetti, Alexander, and Scott Service, or a pinch hitter.
The 0-2 skips up there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The inning that really hurt was the one Adams worked in the 6th. Terry 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, a walk, 3 wild pitches, and 3 runs allowed. The Cubs had closed to within a run at 10-9. It's now 13-9. 1-2. A high fly ball into shallow center. Johnson slowing now. He's got it, 1 away. Well, a spot for Mulholland to maybe pick up a win if he can shut these guys down. And as you mentioned, the Cubs bats can come to life. So although Terry didn't start it, maybe he can finish it. And here's Burnitz. He is 1 out of 4 with a 3-run homer. His 34th of the year. He's also knocked in 116 runs. That 116 RBI total, #1 among left-handed hitters in the National League. A high fly hit to right center. Sammy got a late break. Now he's under, reaches up. Boy, the ball really carrying well to right, but Burnitz flies out.
Well, that shows you how strong Burnitz is. He didn't have any part of his lower body in that swing. He just flicked at it and almost hit it over the head of Sammy Sosa, who at the last instant reaches up, battling the sun and the wind, and he hauls it in.
That's the first time today, Stoney, that the Cubs have retired 3 consecutive Milwaukee batters. A fly to right by Burnitz. And here's Marquise Grissom. He's got a 2-hit day, and he looks at ball 1. I should say that's the first time the bullpen has gotten 3 straight Milwaukee hitters. I beg your pardon. 2 balls, no strikes to Grissom. He has scored a couple of runs. He's driven home a run.
Well, the coach is heating it up. He's right behind us. If anybody can get the Cubs offense rolling once again, it's Ron Santo.
And he's sweating bullets as we speak. A fly ball out of play, 2-2. Days like today, I guess, Coach, you'd be dying to get in the batter's box and take a couple of hacks yourself. How would you hit Steve Stone, by the way? He says a curveball in the dirt. Pulled foul, 2-2.
You have to lay off that one. And then begrudgingly you'd get a fastball, but not too often.
Man, what a crazy game this has been. The 2-2. He just did get a piece and stays alive, does Marquise Grissom. Come on, Terry, one more out. We want to hear the coach start to warble here.
And a 1-2-3 inning would be welcome. That young man telling his mom, I'm about to see a 1-2-3 inning, Mom. Something I haven't seen today.
Well, this is like being in Coors Field. The pitcher's dragged kicking and screaming out to the center of the infield.
And the bullpen up and going for the Brewers.
2-2. Foul back out of play. Bill Pulsipher started for Milwaukee. Couldn't work the requisite 5 innings to get the decision. Don Wingert started for the Cubs. It's 13-9 Milwaukee. Again the 2-2. And again Grissom staying alive. Tough battle here. Reminiscent of the Jeremy Burnett's at bat way back in the second inning when he fought off pitch after pitch after pitch from Don Wingert. Two balls, two strikes. He got him swinging. And our first 1-2-3 inning of the day. And now here's the coach, Ron Santo, with our 7th inning stretch.
Out to the ball game, led by legendary Cubs third baseman and WGN radio announcer Ron Santo.
All right, this is for Harry. We miss him dearly. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. It's root for the hobby. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's get some run!
Just click, dial, click.
A participating advertiser of Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is Ford, your neighborhood Ford store. Quality people, quality products.
It's 13-9. Let's see if the coach Ron Santo's cracking voice will wake up the Cubs lumber. Not on that swing from Gaetti. He's going to pop to first. Loretta battling, and makes the grab. Boy, he has not looked very steady over there today.
But he has made the plays, and it is tough. That wind, as soon as the ball gets above the stands, the wind just takes it toward the outfield. You have to stay with everything. It's a lot like 3Com Park and like Candlestick Park used to be. A difficult day. And the bullpen up once again. And it's Matt Karshner.
Here's Manny Alexander. He's the only Cubs starter without a hit. He's grounded to short, popped to first, and has been struck out looking.
There is a look at Matt.
The pitcher's spot to up fourth here. And Manny swings and misses strike one.
Bullpen up and going. And it looks like Myers throwing in the pen for the Brewers. He's the only submarine left-hander they have.
1-2.
You don't see many of them these days, you know. They're as rare as hen's teeth. Being a big farm guy and all, I know that.
Oh, I'm tempted, but I think I better not say it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I know about the bovine part, but the rest of the pharmacological stuff you'll have to deal with on your own. There's Myers. The frisbee toss-in southpaw. The 1-2. Skips up there and evens the count.
Scott Service in the on-deck circle. He's had quite a day. He's been on 3 times with a couple of doubles and a walk. He scored 3 times. So the flying feet of Scott Service have certainly come into play today. Plus, he's been running to the bricks quite often.
Foul back, yeah, 4 wild pitches by the Cubs today, 3 of them by Terry Adams. Really struggled today. Base is empty in the bottom of the 7th. 13-9 Milwaukee the lead. We'll see these guys one more time after this series is over in Milwaukee for 2 games. And Manny 0 for 4.
Nothing wrong with Plunk's fastball. It's always been very good. From the Southwest Plainview camera, we'll take a look at that angle of this pitch and then that angle of this pitch. And from any angle, it still strikes 3. And there is the Southwest Airlines Plainview camera high atop Wrigley Field. So Brant Brown will come on to pinch hit.
He'll bat with 2 outs and the base is clear in the 7th inning. Brad hitting .298 with 14 homers and 48 batted in. As a pinch hitter, 6 for 16 with 4 driven in, and he went around for strike 1.
Pretty good job as a pinch hitter this year.
But he's behind 2 strikes here.
Brant Brown has to lay off the high fastball. He can't catch up with it and he can't hit it. It's a problem that a lot of left-handers have if they expand their zone. And as you get to be more established and a veteran hitter, you do whatever it takes to lay off the high heat.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Blunk has set down 4 men in a row. 6 of the 7 men he's faced, and Jerry Crawford having trouble with the sun down at first. That ball ripped toward him and foul into the Milwaukee bullpen.
Well, he wasn't having enough trouble to call that one fair, as it missed by a foot.
Oh, he's got great eyes, man. And he comes from a terrific officiating family.
He's got umpiring in his genes, so to speak.
And in his arms and in his head, everywhere. Shags Crawford was his dad, the legendary umpire, and his brother Joey, an NBA official. And Brad Brown just got struck out. 3 up, 3 down in the 7th inning. On we go to the 8th with Milwaukee in command.
Shin in 5 minutes. Gray is gone.
No one can tell, just for man gel.
13-9, we go to the 8th. Tyler Houston takes over behind the plates as Terry Mulholland will try to work through his 2nd full inning here in the 8th inning. He'll face the lower portion of the Brewers order. Valentin, Jenkins, and a pinch hitter perhaps. A bunt, and it was good until it rolled foul. 0-2.
It's really been a remarkable year for Terry Mulholland when you consider that he's been called on to throw long, to be used as a setup man, to start, to close down games. He's got 3 saves. And through all of that, Terry with an ERA under 260 at this point. So you'd have to say that he is a very valuable member of this pitching staff.
But he's made it pretty clear he wants to start next year. 0-2. And it's 0-3. Mulholland has retired all 5 men he's faced, and let's open up our Ameritech playbook.
Terry Adams did not have a wild pitch this year coming into this game, and this one goes to the bricks, and a run scores. Eric Plunk does the honors, and this one gets away, and another run scores. And the wild pitches are your Ameritech playbook, the plays that have made a difference.
Jeff Jenkins, the batter, he's 1 for 4 with an RBI double and 2 strikeouts. 1 ball, no strikes, and that one got the umpire.
I can't believe that Tyler Houston didn't get a glove on it. He never even got a glove on that straight fastball. And it is getting pretty squirrely behind the plate.
Oh, hey, he was trying to jump into the seats.
Looking for the concessionaire, no doubt, and a bag of peanuts.
There's the strike. As long as it's not a black cat, it's okay. The pitch, swing and a miss, 2-2.
It's like, is it Mark Newfield in the on-deck circle?
Yes, indeed.
You've got the good eyes. Yeah, it is. From that angle, I can see perfectly.
Well, they say that's the 2nd thing to go, partner. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
In my case, the 3rd thing.
13-9. The pitch. Swung on, popped up, and out of play. Milwaukee in town again tomorrow and Sunday as well. Then we fly cross country and battle the Padres 4-4. WGN will carry the first 2 games out in San Diego and the Thursday game as well. Strike 3 call. Jenkins has struck out 3 straight times. Mulholland has struck out the last 3 hitters he's faced.
Mark Newfield will come on to pinch hit as Plunk did his job. And Terry Mulholland has put an end to a very dismal effort by the bullpen to this point. Mulholland has been very good in keeping the deficit at 4.
So Eric Plunk a chance to win it. 2 1/3 innings. 1 hit, 3 strikeouts. And Mark Newfield, the former Seattle Mariner farmhand, stands in. He also has played with the Padres, now with Milwaukee. A high chopper left side. Gaetti got the big hop and throws him out. 7 up, 7 down for Mulholland as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Time to score some runs. It's 13-9.
This portion of Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is brought to you by your local Chicagoland and Northern Indiana GMC dealers.
Had a little. I hate these guys. On the next Hercules. Saturday at 1 on WGN.
13-9. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Matt Mieske will come on and pinch hit against Milwaukee left-hander Mike Myers.
Myers at 2-2, a fine ERA of 2.83, on for the 66th time. He's been a busy man. Pretty decent control. He has given up 5 home runs in 47 2/3 innings. So it's the M&M boys going head-to-head, the former Brewer Matt Mieske against Mike Myers, as the Cubs try to eat into that 4-run deficit.
He should change his number to 54, should Mr. Mike Myers.
That's the new movie Mr. Myers is in.
I'm looking forward to Austin Powers 2 myself. And looking forward to some Matt Mieske powers perhaps here. 13-9 ball game in favor of Milwaukee. And it's downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes.
That's what Mieske has done against Myers.
Outside 2-0.
They are standing patiently in the bullpen. A right-hander loosening up. Their closer is Bob Wickman, who has 22 saves and a 3.13 ERA. There's a look at Mr. Wickman.
Base is empty. Nobody out in the 8th. The 2-1. Ground ball to the shortstop. Funny hop for Valentin, but a good strong throw. 1 away. Now Lance Johnson, boy, this will be a tough test for him. That submarining left-hander. Lance will have to hang in there and not give up on the pitch. Johnson is 1 for 3. A single, a run scored in the first. He drove in his 17th run with a suicide squeeze in the second. That's when the Cubs led the game 3-0. Then Milwaukee roared back with 6 in the 3rd. And they haven't trailed since. The Cubs battled back to make it a 10-9 game, but then the Brewers with 3 more in the 6th made it 13-9. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the Aces are wild. Breaking ball caught the inside corner. A late breaking curve. 1-2. Lance fought that ball off before it hit him.
And the question marks still swirl around Kerry Wood. Will he or won't he be back this year? Obviously, it's a huge gap in the starting rotation if he's unable to pitch. However, I'm of the mind that his arm is more valuable than making it to the wild card this year. But I don't think that there's a trade-off. I think there's enough talent down there to make it, with or without Kerry Wood. And if they have to do it offensively, so be it.
Ground ball right side. Vigna bobbles, and a close play. Myers can't handle it, and Johnson aboard.
I'm not sure if Myers got there quickly enough, and he might be hurt, as we'll take a look. Looks to me like Loretta, not knowing where Vigna was, just straight off the bag. He should have gotten back to the bag. It's a very difficult 4-1 play. Myers just missed it. It goes as an error on Myers. The throw is there. He just plain misses the throw. And that could be significant as we move now to the middle of the order.
Now you've got Jose Hernandez, the right-hander, then Mark Grace, the left-hander, then Sammy Sosa lurking in the Cubs dugout. 13-9 in favor of Milwaukee. The wind still blowing out, albeit not as briskly as we saw earlier in the day. We've seen 4 homers hit in the ballgame, 3 of them by the Cubs.
The right-hander still throwing in the pen. In fact, right-handers throwing in both pens.
Jose 1 for 4 with a triple. And he looks at a strike. I would imagine this guy's tough on lefties or righties.
I would think
the first time you see him.
I would think the right-handers would have pretty decent success against him. You see it coming all the way. And now Bob Wickman is starting to loosen up in the pen.
But just such a funky arm angle, like you said, you don't see this kind of delivery too often. It takes you a pitch or two to get used to seeing it.
Well, especially from a left-hander. You know, we've seen a lot of sidearm and submarining right-handers. Very few times do you see the sidearm or submarining left-hander, and that's probably why Myers has a 2.83 ERA.
Runner at first, 1 out, 0-2. I'm kind of surprised too that you don't see more guys throwing that way, because everything you read tells you that throwing the ball with a sidearm kind of motion, there's a lot less wear and tear and strain on your shoulder.
Most of the guys that do throw that way have had a previous arm injury, and they have adopted that style after going from a conventional pitching style.
A little tapper over the mound. Tough play. What a play by the shortstop. He made it.
Well, Valentin makes an outstanding effort. This ball actually took a turn on the grass, and Valentin came over with the bare hand a la Omar Vizquel and made an exceptional effort. Despite 20 errors by Valentin, this is as good a play as you'll see at shortstop. You see the funny hop. He's left with the bare hand catch and throw, and gets him by a half step. Wow.
If that ball spun another quarter of an inch away from him, he wouldn't have been able to make the play, but make it he did. And now Mark Grace will greet Myers, and Don Rowe on his way out once again to talk things over with his relief pitcher. A long afternoon for baseball here at the friendly confines. The Brewers trying to make it even longer.
There's a look at Phil Garner. As a former infielder himself, he appreciates a play like this. You have to bare hand throw it in the same motion. It's a do or die play. In this case, Valentin came up with a gem. It could turn out to be a huge play, but if you don't get him, this inning looks fairly ominous with Sammy in the on-deck circle.
But if he comes up there, he won't be facing Myers. You can bet on that. Here's Grace, 1 for 4. And lifetime against the frisbee tossing left-hander. Mark is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Line drive, right center field, base hit. Johnson around third. He's going to score. Grace comes through with an RBI single with 2 outs. Now it's Sosa with a man aboard. And I would imagine Mr. Myers will watch the rest of these proceedings from the Milwaukee Showers. And that indeed will be the case. The folks in the Dominican getting ready to rumble as Sammy Sosa gets set to stand in against the 4th Milwaukee pitcher. We'll tell you who he is when we come back to Wrigley Field. Well, we'll keep it right here. The Cubs have pounded out 13 hits, the Brewers 14, and now it's Bob Wickman.
Wickman at 6-8, the ERA 3.13, on for the 68th time. He does have 22 saves. Walk 29, fan 70 in 77 2/3 innings. He made the conversion last year to a relief pitcher, and he was pretty good, but he wasn't asked to close. He was 7-6 with a 2.73 ERA. He was very durable, appearing in 74 games. But last year they had Doug Jones as their closer. This year they asked Wickman to close it down, and he's done a pretty good job.
Yeah, call your friends. Tell them to turn us on. Sammy Sosa's up looking for number 60. He hit number 59 back in the 5th. He's got 2 hits, 2 RBIs, 1 run scored. He's also stolen a base today. And a chance to once again bring the Cubs to within a run with 1 swing of the bat. And look at the names that Sosa and McGuire have joined. Babe Ruth and Roger Maris. He's trying to become the 4th man in history to hit 60 home runs.
It's really been a magical year for Sammy Sosa in a number of different categories. All along, everyone knew that Sammy Sosa was a slugger and that he would hit a lot of home runs. This has probably been the first year in his career that he's made that transition from an out-and-out slugger to a complete baseball player in just about every category. Yes, he does strike out, and he will continue to do that. But he's gotten some clutch hits. He's improved against pitchers that he's never hit before. He's driven home runs from third base that he never did before. With the bases loaded, he's hit his first 2 grand slams, and it's just been a magical year for Sammy Sosa, and the fans here appreciate every bit of it.
Wickman's given up only 4 home runs in 77 2/3 innings. He's converted 15 straight save opportunities. It's a 3-run Milwaukee game, 13-10. Sammy ready. The pitch is a ball, 1-0.
Wickman's done a good job of keeping the ball in the ballpark. Just 4 home runs in those 77 2/3 innings. But again, the wind blowing straight out.
Big cut. 1-1. Glenn Allen Hill waiting on deck. He's got a 2-hit day working.
Wickman's best pitch is the good hard slider. And that should get a workout with Sammy in this situation.
1 ball, 1 strike. It's Wickman against Sosa. The pitch. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
And that was a perfect spot for the fastball. He couldn't have laid it in the glove any better than that. 1 for 2 against Wickman with a strikeout. And there's Scrap Iron giving us signs as Nielsen looked over. You wouldn't think a pitch out would be forthcoming.
Well, Grace has stolen 4 bases.
Ever dangerous.
The fans chanting Sammy's name here.
That's a fastball away.
1-2. Whoa! Wickman thought he had him struck out. 2-2.
Well, he's gone with 2 fastballs in a row. I would think that the slider would be forthcoming.
Grace a very short lead at first.
Look outside, Sammy, and go get it.
2-2. He did. He hits it down the right field line. It's twisting, foul, and unplayable for Burnitz.
Well, there's a difference in Sammy Sosa. Probably last year, the year before, that pitch strikes him out. Sammy would be pulling off the ball, trying to hit it out of the ballpark to left or left center. And if you pull off it, you miss that pitch. But he was able to stay alive and get at least one more pitch.
So 2 fastballs, now the slider. What do you come with here?
I throw him one more slider. Then we'll see what Dave Nielsen wants.
2-2. 2 out. 13-10. The pitch. Low, ball 3. The fans down the first base line can barely see the action.